I hope you loved the journey that we have taken so far and finished up with our first project. And in this video, what we are going to do is we are going to write cleanup functions and clean the events that we have created for socket.io, as well as some references that we have created on our server. So first of all, let's go to pages, API, and under socket.js, we will write an event over here, that is socket.on disconnect. It will give a reason whenever a socket is disconnected. So inside this, we won't do much. We'll simply delete the online user socket that we have created using the socket ID. And we can also log this message to know if we actually delete the socket and clean our data. Let's save this and start our server to see what happens if we close our instance on the web browser. So we are on our web browser, and on our Visual Studio Code, we can see that the socket is connected. And now if we close our browser window, you can see that the socket is disconnected. And you see two messages for socket connection and disconnection because we are in development server. And in development mode, it fires the event 2 times, and when you will be building the final build using npm run build and use npm start in order to run your production server, it would only run 1 time. So with that being done, our cleanup for the server is done. So let's remove this console log, and we can also close this file and go to our client side index.js file, and over here where we are initializing our socket, just below our socket initializer, we will be returning a cleanup function of useEffect, which will be called when our component gets removed from the DOM. So here we will check if there is a socket. Only then what we will do is we will use socket.off in order to remove our listeners, and we can copy this 3 times since we have used 3 listeners over here, and we will call listeners dot all the events one by one. So our listeners would be removed. If we don't do this, and even if our browser window is closed and we are on another tabs, our browser will listen to these events and keep on logging the messages. So we don't want to do that, and it's good practice to avoid memory leak as well as remove the event listeners whenever our application is closed. So let's save this now and restart our server once again. Let's open our application and close it again, and we can see that the application is running fine. We have removed the log message for disconnection, so that's totally cool. With that being done, let's also close our index.js file. Also, we can improve the UI of our message, which right now looks like this. So let's go to our message box component. Inside our component, chat container, chat box container, and let's go to message box over here. And what we can do is we can create a CSS file for now. And import this over here inside our JSX component. And over here on our paragraph element, what we can do is we can use class name and pass this over here, and call message box, call our class as message box. Let's save this. You can see that there is no error right now. Let's create a new message box class that we have created right now. Call it message box. Over here, We will give a message box a background of color white. So let's create background color white. Also we can give it font size of, let's say, 11. And we can give it some padding, which would be approximately 5 pixel from all the sides. We can also give it font weight and give it a value of 500. So with that, let's now save our code and restart our server. And on our client side, let's create a room, call it room 1, and inside this let's say a message hi, and you can see it looks much better now. Also, if I create another user on another window and if I send a message in this room stating hi, you can see that the messages now look much better and more easier to read. So I think with that being done, that's all for this video. You can learn more about socket.io and chat applications. This is just an introduction to socket.io and chat application that you can build using Next.js, which is most popular right now. You can deploy this on Vercel and chat between multiple users and enjoy the fun. Okay, so see you in the next video guys. Take care. Bye.